Hello everyone and welcome to the video. I will be covering running backs for the Week 1 Draftkings NFL main slate. If you watched my quarterbacks video, I said I was going to have this out on Thursday. That's my bad, but hey, the video is here now, and pretty happy at the moment. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, so we got the win against the Bears, and it looks like we might actually have a defense this year, so I'm excited. Okay, let's get into the position. We start off with Ezekiel Elliott at 9.2K against the Giants. I cannot recommend playing Zeke this week. He's coming off a long holdout, and he just reported to camp. There's a report saying that he might be limited to 20 to 25 snaps. It's just too risky, and there's other good options to choose from. He is a total fade for me. Next up, Saquon Barkley at 9K on the opposite side of this game, going up against the Cowboys. I think he's interesting for GPPs. This team traded away OBJ. Golden Tate is suspended, so Barkley is going to be in line for a large workload once again. The matchup isn't great, though. The Cowboys were a top 5 run defense last year, and you've got to think they're going to stack the box, to make things more difficult for them. It's a no for me in cash games, but I do think, again, he's very interesting for GPPs. Below him is Christian McCaffrey against the Rams at 8.8K. There's a lot of value at running back this week, but if I'm paying up in this top tier, it's going to be for McCaffrey. He was the bell cow running back last season on the field for just over 91% of the team's offensive snaps. The next closest guy was Barkley at 83%. With DraftKings being a PPR format, he's just going to be a beast with what he does as a receiver in addition to the big improvements he made as a rusher last season. The Rams defense gave up a league worst 5.1 yards per carry last year. Vegas is a team total of 50 in this one, with the Panthers only 2.5-point dogs. Everything just sets up really nicely here. I think he's my number one running back this week, and I think he's viable in both cash and in tournaments. Next guy, Todd Gurley, 7.9K against the Panthers. He is severely discounted from where he was last year, and this one is tough. On one hand, he's coming off of an incredible season, 21 touchdowns in 14 regular season games, and the matchup is an appealing one. But what about what happened down the stretch of the regular season? What about his usage in the playoffs? What about that knee? Will Sean McVay, significantly scale back his workload? These are the questions that is going to scare some people off of him. But I'm cautiously optimistic. Gurley says that he's fine. McVay says he won't be on a snap count week 1. It's up to you if you think they're telling the truth or not. But you would think that you would be at your healthiest all year in week 1 of the season. So I think the risk is worth the reward in tournaments where I don't think he's actually going to garner that much ownership. So I think being overweight on Gurley might be the move here in GPPs. Following him is David Johnson at 7.7K against the Lions. Now, the Cardinals' O-line isn't very good, and Pro Football Focus has the Lions as a number 5 run defense heading into 2019. I understand the optimism for a rebound season with a new quarterback and a new offensive-minded head coach. For me, it's a little bit of a wait-and-see approach with Johnson just to see how he's going to fit in. I understand if you want to do it in tournaments, but you can't play every single guy in the DK player pool, so it might be worth considering a full fade here. Another guy that might be worth fading, even though I understand why you would be intrigued, is Le'Veon Bell. Bell was certainly a fantasy stud with the Steelers, no doubt about it, but now he's with a new team, and the Jets are just not as good of an offense. He didn't play at all last season or in the preseason this year, and the Bills' defensive line had the highest stuff percentage in the league last year. I'm not sure if he's going to get a full workload right away either, so I just can't endorse Bell as a guy that you should be prioritizing this week. Now I'm going to start skipping over some guys and just give you names that I think that you should play. Nick Chubb has some merit at 6.4K against the Titans. He was extremely efficient last season as a rookie, and that was when the previous coaching staff didn't really know how to utilize him for about half a season. And now Odell Beckham is with this team to take this offense to another level. This isn't a smash spot or anything. It's an okay spot, so I would stick with using him in tournaments only. Leonard Fournette, 6.1K against the Chiefs, is another exciting tournament play. He's let us down in the past in some spots that we thought he could crush, and he has a reputation of being injury-prone, so you worry that he might come off of the field. I'm trying to look forwards, not backwards with this guy. He's the unquestioned lead back for the Jaguars. The team has improved their offense in the offseason, at least on paper, and the Chiefs are not a very good defense. I think you can fire him up in some GPPs. This next spot, I think, is a smash spot. Dalvin Cook, 6K, is a lock for me against the Falcons. Atlanta allowed the most DK points to running backs last year. The Vikings are committed to running the ball a lot more this season, and Cook is likely to be utilized as a 3-down back this season with Latavius Murray gone. It's a high total game. The entire industry feels the same way that I do about this guy. I'm eating the chalk and cash games, definitely playing him. Kerryon Johnson, 5.8K against the Cardinals. Arizona gave up 4.9 yards per carry last season, and Theo Riddick is no longer on the Lions to eat into Johnson's playing time. He was very impressive with his touches last year as a rookie. I think more good things are in store for his sophomore season. He's another guy to be high on for GPPs. This next guy also grades out very well, and I think he will carry some significant ownership, is Chris Carson at 5.7K against the Bengals. The Seahawks ran the ball on 52% of their offensive snaps last season, easily the most run-heavy team in the NFL. Seattle is a heavy favorite at home, so he's got a great projected game script, and he's outplayed Penny by all accounts during training camp and in the preseason, so with increased usage, he should be a strong play. I like Carson in all formats this week. Austin Eckler at 5.5K is another player that's a good value this week. With no Melvin Gordon, Eckler should be on the positive end of a 65-35 split with Justin Jackson. He has been extremely efficient as a runner and receiver when he's been able to get onto the field. Now that he's the lead back, at least for now, these additional opportunities give a boost to his floor and his ceiling. I think he's going to be popular, and he can be used in both cash and in GPPs. I will name drop a few other guys to consider. Mark Ingram should see increased usage now that he's in Baltimore. The Ravens are extremely run-heavy. It's a positive game script, and the Dolphins are not a very good run defense. I think he's a way to be contrarian this week. And then we have two deep value guys. First up, Matt Breida, 4K, going up against the Bucs. And also Miles Sanders, they're back-to-back here in pricing, 3.9K against the Skins. They're both cheap, high team totals, and the matchups are fine. Both guys are in pretty even split timeshares, so you can't do it in cash, but it is perfectly acceptable in tournaments. All right, that wraps up the video for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, there is a quarterback edition that was posted on Wednesday. Be sure to check that out if you have not already. Please be sure to like and subscribe if this was useful for you. And please follow me on Twitter at clutch_DFS. Ask me any questions on there, and I'll be sure to respond. Thanks again for watching.